So what is on, guys? This is Kai. We're back with another deck profile. Today I'm gonna be showcasing you guys the Dino Rufia or Dino Morphia, they call it in TCGs. I used this deck yesterday during my locals and I went X1 with this, technically X2 because one of my opponents didn't show up and I got the buy, but well, that's I chose to play this deck because I wanted to play something else other than Eldritch and something that people not familiar with, and maybe we have a different outcome. And surprisingly, this deck is more fun to play and with some stuff that is something like only available in the OCGs, but TCG doesn't have it, so I wanted to try it first, and it came out quite well. I won most of the game because of my right hand, because I top decks a lot of stuff that opponent not preparing for, and yeah, most of it won because of this. So without further ado, let's go into the profile. This is a 40 card deck, control, aggro, whichever you call it. It can do either. So first off, we're gonna playing is triple copies of Dino Rufia Theresia. This is the Marinator of the decks, or also the Stratos. Let me focus this. When this card is normal or special, you can set one Dino Rufia trap from deck to the field, and if your life point is 2000 or lower, it gains 500 permanent. And if it's destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can banish one trap in the graveyard and special summon another Dino Rufia other than herself. You want to see her most of the time. I saw her every single opening hand, so I played 3. You can't play the deck without it. This is the most important card of decks. Second important is 2 Dino Rufia Diablos. You needed this because it floats just like Theresia, but this is a foolish burials, so sometimes you need to foolish something for your extra deck to floats. For the hand traps, Triple X Blossom. This is the standard ones, especially in this format you need this, and also the most generic hand traps ever made, Triple Maxis. And of course, in TCG you don't have maxis, you can play other hand trap as well. There are a lot of choices, it doesn't matter. So in this deck we play as much. One goes well for the Despair branded lineup, and the matchup for Eldritch as well, to close off the 7th hand traps, and of course the God card from the Burst of Destinies, of course the King of the Sky Prison. I play a heavy bat roll, I need to do something to protect my bat roll, and I wanted to plus off it, so I choose to play 2. You can activate the Dino Rufia stuff, pay a half, summon this with a 3000 defense to prevent opponent from attack from game, since your life point is lower than usual, so you need something to beat to bring advantage and brings bodies. That's all for the monsters, and for the spell is triple Pot of Dualities and 1 Pot of Prosperities. I wanted to play 2 Prosperities, but I can't afford to banish all my extra decks, so I choose to play these ratios. It's worked out just fine. I haven't seen most of this, I only seen this, but it is what it is because you need to dig deeper for your decks. This deck doesn't search well, you need these. And for the anti-hand trap, 2 Callback and 1 Cross-out Destinator. And people ask me why I don't play Fossil Lead, because you want to search your Theresia, you want to see her, but you don't want to risk off when your fusion, you don't have any monsters in your decks, and you don't have anything to fusions, don't have anything to foolish, you'll end up loss of resources. And playing this to stop hand traps, because you still lose to Maxis during your opponent's turn, and you still lose to Imperm and Ash Blossoms. That's all for the spells. For the traps, the triple Dino Rufia Frenzies. This is the Shadow Fusion of the decks. You can fusion with extra decks as well. This is Shadow Fusion and Kaleidoscope of Necros. You use this to summon out your Rexstrom. It's really broken in my opinion. Why is it a rare? And of course the triple Domain. This is also the Shadow Fusion of the decks. Use specials, summon 1 fusion, summon 1 fusion from your extra deck using the monster in deck, hand or field. The Shadow Fusions, you need to play it. It's the reason why you float so much, because you send 2 materials to the grave, and when the fusion destroyed, you can bring them back. And for the one-offs, the 1 Sonic and 1 Brute. Brute, in my opinion, is the best one. It is a Conquistadors, and a lot of times I use this just to interrupt my opponent's plays. I don't have a monsters, and they plan to attack for game, they fusion, they have a body. For Sonic, this is for duster proof, so I don't want to play this, but still afraid of Dusters. If I can't see my Sky Prison, I need something to protect me from game. And of course, the OCG's exclusive, we have the Souls of the Supreme King. What this card does is you pay half your life points versus summon one Zard from the extra decks, ignoring the summoning conditions. Its effects are negated, and you return to the extra deck during the next end phase. So you can summon it with a free body of 4,000 on the field. And the second effect, when your opponent activates a spell effects, you can banish this card from the grave and one Zard on the field. If you do special summon up to 4 monsters with Pendulum Dragon, Xyz Dragon, Synchro Dragon, or Fusion Dragons, each one to your field. So you can summon 4, but I don't do that, I just summon 3. Because if you thought about it, Xyz Dragons monsters all don't have proper effects when they don't have Xyz materials. So you use this to prevent against stuff like spells when opponents activate Extravagance, activate Dusters or anything. You can activate this during the semi phase. You have the Zard. If you respond to the spell, you banish this, summon 3 interruption or so, and then you can basically win your game. I did this once, but that of course it won me the game. And to round out hand traps, of course, the 3 impermanents. You're playing a traps deck, so why not play impermanents? And for going first hate, back row hates, removable hates, triple Solemn Judgment, the 1 IO and 1 Vanities. You might wondering why I'm not playing Trap Trick, because I scared of restricting myself to only 1 traps, and also you need to see the timing to activate the traps, because you can't afford to misplay. Any 1 trap is left without activated in the turn, you might cost you the game. So I'm not taking that risk, although it's a really good card. You play like tons of normal traps. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 targets. You can play if you want. It's the same result as a Searcher and also a Hybrids to turbo out, but I choose not to. For the extra decks, 2 Patera. This is for fusion material, and I never summon it. I just use it as a fusion materials because it's not the best one, but it is what it is. Triple Rexstorm, this is the good one. For you guys who don't know what it does, you can pay half a life points, and your opponent's current monster on the field attack points becomes the same as your life points, and monster with the equal or higher attacks than your life points cannot activate monster effects. So you force your opponents to not using their monster effects and have to deal with the 3000s. And following this, we have the 3 Kendrina. This is another trap trick. It copies a Dino Rufia trap from graveyard by paying half. So you can use this. You can use it and to copy Domain fusion 1 from deck and herself to make Rexstorm. So you need 3. You need it more because of frenzies. You need more fusion monster in the extra deck in order to send it as material. So I try to max out as much as possible. So it's 8. And for the non-Dino Rufia stuff is 1 Psycho and Punisher. It gains attack during the battle phase equals to the difference of your life points and your opponents. So it's a very big sticks, and it's unaffected by activated effects if your life point is lower than your opponents. So you have this. You want to beat sticks, just punch it. How to make this? It's a level 11. You can use your hand trap with your Rexstorm, and you can just make this. And also you can banish a card from your field and your opponent's monster by being 1,000. So it does come in handy sometimes. And for the Zard package, I play these 2 Zard. I only summon this because it's a secret. I forgot to buy another secret, so I just summon this. And for the summon targets is 1 Venoms, 1 Brave Eyes, 1 Crystal Wing, and 1 Crystal Clear. For Brave Eyes, because when this card is faced on the field, a monster with 0 attacks activated effects are negated, so you're basically hand trap proof. And when this card attacks the opponent's monster, if they didn't destroy during the end of damage steps, it is banished instead. Venom, of course. Crystal Wing and Crystal Clear, because I play both because this doesn't negate monsters, it negates spell traps. While this negate monsters, it doesn't negate spell traps, so I have to play 2. In case I activate the second traps, I have a second legal targets. And for the side decks, it's just something based on your locals, doesn't really have to be the same. I play 2 Nibiru's for combos, these that lose to combos. And the Second Bell for Despias, 2 draw for Flunderies or ABC Therions or whichever decks is search, 1 Duckster for back rows, and more back row hits with triple Evenleys, Sky Striker hits with triple anti-spell Fragrance, and the fusion hits we have triple dimensional barriers. Of course, it's restricted to your deck as well because it's trading fusions, but if you activate this with the right timing, your Cantadrina is gonna start with 4000 that turn, so it doesn't restrict it to your life points, so you have a 4k Mystic and you prevent opponent from extending. So guys, that's it for the profile of Dino Rufia I played yesterday, so hope you guys enjoy it. I might change to the different decks the following locals for more checking or more test builds, so I hope you guys enjoy this. If you got any suggestion, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll read it every time, and of course we can exchange suggestions as well. So see you guys next time. Take care everyone.